to set this place ablaze. Oh boy, oh boy.
When have I ever really listened to what people have to say?
Wake up! Wake up!
Ladies and gentlemen, this lady,
Yes.
I want to bring out, she's not just a woman. She's an architecture.
Yes.
She's drop dead gorgeous. She's a wife, a mother,
Yes.
someone's daughter, and a sweet entrepreneur. And she's not here alone. We know that life is not easy, but she has figured out how to make it simple. As a trendsetter in the entertainment industry, she spent over 20 years creating innovative marketing strategies for some of the biggest celebrities you all know. Some of them you dance to every other day. The list includes the likes of Usher,
Yes.
TLC, Tony Braxton, Converse, NBA, TNT, and many more. Now, as an empowerment speaker, life strategist, and best-selling author, she works with all around busy individuals like us to make choices that leads to less stress, better clarity, and a more fulfilling life. She speaks around the world. Sharing a message of peace is the new success. Her award-winning book, Exponential Living, Stop Spending 100% of Your Time on 10% of Who You Are, published by Penguin Random House, is a 2018 NAACP Image Award nominee and has won several 2017 Self-Help Books of the Year award. It is the guide to help achievers to integrate their personal desire into their life without detriment to their professional achievement. The foreword of this book was written by Usher himself and features interviews with actors, rappers like Chris Ludacris, Bridges, TV film producers, Will Parker, actors like Boris Kodjoe and Nicole Ari Parker, and retired NBA player, philanthropist Darrell Griffiths. She's been a speaker for Humana, Delta Airlines, Atlanta Hawks, Steve Harvey acts like a success conference, Prudential, the Coca-Cola Company, and the list goes on and on and on. When I heard about her, I decided to look for her. Anywhere Sheri goes, I go.
Yes.
And she did not come here alone. Before I bring this woman who will tear this house to pieces, let me first greet her daughter, Dominique. Hi to you there. And a lovely husband, tall, dark, handsome, with money in his pocket, swagger African bro. Man, put your hands for Jovan. And Nigeria, with all hands up. Stand up and let's receive to this podium our sister, our friend, the exponential living daughter of Zion, Sheri Riley. Come on, put your hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands for Sheri Riley. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new success. Ladies,
Riley.
yes, let's appreciate her. Yes, so there's no need to. Yes, so yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, DJ. Come on. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Wake up.
G.
Wake up.
G.
Wake up.
G. Muscle.
Wake up.
Muscle.
I mean that literally and figuratively. Wake up.
Muscle.
Yes.
Yes, so.
Are you awake?
She wants to
Are
do-
you awake?
Yes.
Are you awake?
Yes. That's
Stay on your feet. Stay on your feet.
Jehovah.
Everybody stay on your feet.
Jehovah Witness.
Stay on your feet. Let's see. Are we started? Can I get this? Stay on your feet.
Yeah.
Guys,
Big body.
I have literally literally came 6,000 miles to change your mind. I came 6,000 miles to shift your paradigm. All I need from you is to come in agreement. Are you in agreement? My favorite book says when you touch and agree, great things happen. Are you in agreement?
Yes.
Then touch the person next to you and say, I come in agreement. My mind will shift. My paradigm will change right here, right now. Right here, right now. Guys, stay on your feet. Stay on your feet. This right here, that's universal for three things. Thank you. That's universal for three things. The first thing that it's universal for is surrender. Right? You've been in that place where you're like, I'm done. It's also universal for gratitude. Right? Gratitude. You're like, thank you. And the third thing that it's universal for, there we go, is victory, right? Now, I live in the States. I live in the United States. So what we call football is different than what you call football, right? Right? But regardless of the sport, when they win, when they pass the ball, when they score, what do? So you got to do this with me. Because remember, this is a two-way street. I got my job and you got your job. Right? So the first thing I want you to do, you know what, baby? I want to get real serious. Can I get real serious? Can I get real serious? Okay, I'm going to get rid of these. Yeah. I can't move like I want to move with these. They look cute, but I want to get mobile. Can I get mobile? Thank you.
Normal.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
There we go. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Now I can move.
I'm telling you.
We ready to move? Because we got to get some victory. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to think of that one thing that you're going to surrender. You're going to leave it in this room. You brought something in this room that has hindered you from changing. You brought a mindset. You got some ideas. Your thoughts are negative. They weighing you down. Every time you try to get up, your mind says, what for? But let me tell you what you're going to do right now. You're going to leave that here in this room. You're going to surrender. It may be a person. It may be some places that you've been going, but you're going to surrender it here in this room. So you're going to do this with me. On the count of 3, we're going to put our hands up in the universal sign for surrender. And you're going to think about that one thing. I know there's a lot of things, but we're going to start with one thing. I think Lillian is the one that said you got to start with what you have, right? We're going to start with the one thing. What are you going to surrender? And I want you to think about it to yourself. Don't say it out loud. There's some things that are so deep in our lives, some strongholds that are so deep that only you and God can work that thing out. So this is a you and a God thing. I want you right now, after me, on the count of 3, to you and your God, say that one thing that you're going to surrender and leave in this room. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Now, this time, on the count of 3, you're going to think about that one thing that you're grateful for. Everybody got one thing. I know you got 100 things weighing you down, but there's one thing. There's one thing that you're grateful for. Some of you is traveling 11 hours to get here. You grateful that you made it. So on the count of 3, but this time you're going to speak it out. My favorite book says he spoke the word and things were created. So on the this time, that one thing, you're going to speak it, not loud, just speak it out. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. What you grateful for? What you grateful for? Yes. Okay, everybody put their hands down. Y'all know where we're going, right? Y'all know where we're going? Yeah. Some of you guys got some victories in your life and you haven't even accepted it. You haven't even celebrated it. You have a victory you've been praying for, sacrificing for, fasting for, running for, believing for. It came, and guess what you did? Oh, shoot, I got to do something next. You didn't even celebrate. So right now, but this time, that one thing, you're going to scream it out. The Bible says, with a voice of triumph, they overcome. So on the count of 3, this time, you're going to scream that thing out that you got victory in. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, you may be seated. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So guys, I just want to share a little bit about me and my story. There we go. Just want to share a little bit about me and my story. I'm just a small town girl. Just like many of you, I'm a small town girl. I'm from a really small town in the States of about 25,000 people. That's how big my town is. That's where I'm from. If any of you saw the footage when I landed, I was very intentional. My shirt said, just a small town girl. Because I wanted everybody to know I'm a small town girl living in this big old lonely world. And so at about the age of probably about 15, I started getting this vision of working in an entertainment industry or the creative industry. But again, I'm from this small town in Kentucky, not in LA, Los Angeles, not in New York, not in the big cities where the entertainment industry were. I was in this small town in Kentucky. So when I was telling everybody that I wanted to live in Atlanta, Georgia, I wanted to work in the music industry, I had never been to Atlanta, Georgia. And at that time, there was no music industry in Atlanta. So I sounded crazy. To be very honest, all my friends and families felt in their minds I was going to build hotels on Mars. That's how realistic that I sounded. But I had this dream, and so I went off to college. And when I was in college for 4.5 years. Now, I'm getting ready to date myself. I know you guys are real young. I look young, but I'm mature. When I was in college, we didn't have computers. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have Google. So when I wanted to communicate, I had to type letters. How many of you have actually seen a typewriter in person? Yeah. Remember the typewriter? So I literally, for 4.5 years, I typed 20 to 25 resumes and cover letters every week for 4.5 years. I made 20 to 25 phone calls every week for 4.5 years. Now let me give you a little visual. Again, this was before cell phones. So the phone I had to use, I was in my college dorm. There was a phone at the end of the hallway. It was on the wall. It had a cord attached to it. I had a calling card. So I would have to put in the code, put in the phone number, and then dial the number. And I did that 20 to 25 times a week for 4.5 years. And I was asking record executives, just give me a 15-minute informational interview. That's all. Just give me 15 minutes. And guess what? How many people do you think actually took my call? Tell me the number. How many of you think took my call? I called 4.5 years, 20 to 25 people a week. How many people you think took my calls? How many? 5. She said 5. Who else? 3. 3. You said 1. None. 2 people. 2 people. 4.5 years. 20 to 25 calls a week. 20 to 25 cover letters and resumes. But here's the thing, Lillian. The 2 people who took my calls, all I wanted was a 15-minute informational interview. They took 10 minutes to tell me to stop calling them because it was a waste of my time because I was never going to get in the entertainment industry. I wanted 15 minutes for them to speak into my life. They took 10 minutes to try to kill my dream. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about your vision, your dream, your goals, your hopes. All that matters is what you believe. And so after about 8 years of doing this, eventually, I ended up in the entertainment industry. Excuse me, guys, this keeps going off. And as Yubong has already shared, I ended up working with Usher Raymond. Now, this was in the early 90s, and he was this young 15-year-old. And at that time, nobody knew who he was. Just me, him, and his mom was working towards his career. His voice was changing, he had acne, and none of the record executives would believe in him. None of the record executives wanted to support his career. So it was literally me, him, and his mom that started and believed in and helped build his career. Now, right around the time that his first hit came out, y'all know, you make me want to leave the one I'm with and start a new relationship. Think about a ring. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Right around the time that song came out, I realized it was time for me to resign and start my own business. But I also knew that that was going to be a very tough conversation for me to have with this teenager, because up until that point, so many record executives had turned their backs on him. But I took him, and we're sitting in my office, and I'm sitting down with him, and I'm saying, you know, Usher, it's time for me to resign and start my own business. And he's like, yes, yes, Sheri, yes. Now you can work with me exclusively. And I had to let him know, no, I can't work with you. Because I knew at that time he needed my friendship more than he would ever need my marketing expertise. How many of you in this room have ever had to turn up an opportunity or turn down an opportunity that you knew could advance your life, that you knew could bring you career advancement opportunity? How many of you had to make that decision before? Put your hands up. Put your hands up high. See, that was the decision I had to make. And to be honest with you, many of the people in my inner circle thought I was crazy. And when I say people in my inner circle, I mean me. I thought I was crazy. But that one right decision allowed him and I to form a bond that we've supported each other ever since that day. But most importantly, it allowed me to understand my purpose. See, guys, when you're influenced by things outside of you, it minimizes your understanding of what's inside of you. And when I made that decision, there was one thing that I knew for sure. One thing I knew for sure is that everything I needed was inside of me. And that is the theme that has been echoed this entire day. Everything you need is inside of you. And so as I continued my journey at LaFace Records, and I continued to work with the artists that I was working with, I had everything that I needed, I thought. I had the career, I had the money, I bought my mom a home by the age of 27. I was traveling. I had all of these amazing things. And I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. Because what I discovered is that I was spending 100% of my time on 10% of who I was. I just did an interview, and she asked me, with all the money you were making, why would you leave your job? Why would you make that kind of change? Because what I discovered is that money and access and fame and titles will never give you peace. It will never give you clarity. Money and fame and access and titles will never give you peace. What we have to do is we have to pursue the peace first, and then all those things we're able to enjoy. So as I resigned from LaFace Records, and I went on this journey of what I call exponential living. Exponential living, pursuing peace, choosing clarity, and living courageously. Pursuing peace, choosing clarity, and living courageously. Because when you, and here's the thing, today everyone has poured into you guys about what they did to achieve the things that they've achieved. But what we also have to do is be mindful of who we are when we show up. See, what I've learned is your skill and your talent can take you to levels of success that your character can't sustain. I'm going to say that again because I want y'all to write it down. Your skill and your talent can take you to levels of success that your character can't sustain. So that's why you have to be committed to your personal development and your professional growth. You have to be committed to what is inside of you so that you can cultivate that to achieve the excellence that is ordained outside of you. Because that's what God does. He gives it to you to work it through you so that you can be a blessing to those around you. And so I began to discover this whole idea of exponential living. And as I discovered this idea, I came across these 9 principles. These 9 principles serve as the guideline on how we live in our power, how we experience exponential living. Exponential living. And I brought with me today quite a few of my books. Exponential Living, Stop Spending 100% of Your Time on 10% of Who You Are. They are available today. The foreword was written by Usher. And that book became my lifeline. Because being very transparent, guys, it took everything out of me to get that book through me. But what I realized is the main thing that I want to share with you guys today, and that is we have to own our greatness. We have to own our greatness. And how do we do that? How do you own your greatness? See, I come from this whole mindset that I don't want to just give you information. I don't want to just inspire you, and I don't want to just motivate you. Everything in me is what I promised you in the beginning, and that was to what? Change your mindset, shift your paradigm. So I want to give you the how. Sheri, how do I live in my greatness? Everybody on the panel, all the speakers have said, it's in you, it's in you. Be great, be great. But sometimes we don't know how to do that. And so the first key in doing that is you have to be a disruptor in your own life. You got to be a disruptor in your own life. A disruptor is something that comes in and shifts the entire way things are done. Google is a disruptor. Nobody owns encyclopedias anymore because we can Google it, right? All over the world, you can Google. Google came in and disrupted everything. There's this wonderful story that I heard a couple of weeks ago, and it was about a farmer. And he had a cow, and his cow was his most prized possession. It represented his wealth. It represented his what he made his money. It represented his status. This cow was like, it was his family. He had this cow, and he loved this cow. And one day, the cow wandered off and fell in a well. And this farmer tried for days and days to get this cow out of the well. And so after about 3 days of just trying to get the cow out, he realized he couldn't do it. He couldn't get the cow out. And so what he did was he said, I love this cow. My heart is broken. I'm not going to just leave him here without a proper burial. So he decided he was going to bury the cow, have a ceremony, and just give it the proper burial. And so the farmer gets his shovel, and he starts throwing the dirt on the cow in the well. And he gets his dirt, and he throws the dirt, and the dirt falls on the cow, and the cow just kind of shakes it off and takes a step, and the farmer gets the shovel and throws the dirt, gets the shovel, throws the dirt, and the dirt hits the cow in the back, and the cow just kind of shakes it off and takes another step. Y'all know where we're going, right? Y'all know where we're going? Every time the farmer threw the dirt on his back, what'd the cow do? Shake it off and took a step. By the time he got through, the cow just walked out of the well. See, guys, there's a whole lot of dirt that life keeps throwing at you, and instead of you letting it bury you, you just laying there letting it fall on you. Shake that dirt off, step on it, and walk outside of your hole, your problem, your struggle. Guys, the only reason Ubang has me here is because for 12 years, I was in my well with life kicking me in the butt. Everything I'm sharing with you guys today came from the dirt that was thrown on my back. And I decided to shake it off and walk and take another step. Guys, we have to become disruptors in our own lives. And in order to do that, I've really focused in on the first principle of exponential living, which is live in your power. We have to live in our power. And this is the first principle of exponential living. The first principle. And there's 5 keys to living in your power. The first key is our perspective. What is your vision? What is your vision? I love what Andy Stanley says. Many people die after living a long life with their dreams never fulfilled because they don't have a vision to guide them through the process. Vision is born in the soul of a person who is consumed with the tension between what is and what could be. See, when I look at our dreams and our goals, I look at them, see that everybody look at that camera back there. Everybody look at that camera. You see that camera right there? That's a bullseye. That's the goal. That's the target. That's what you're shooting for. And we see that. We can see the dream. We can see the goal. The challenge is we don't see the steps to get there. Our vision is clouded by all of this stuff in the middle on how we get there. See, I had this amazing opportunity. I've spoken at Steve Harvey's conference. I've been on his television show. And one of the things that Steve has shared many, many times when I've heard him talk, when I've shared the stage with him, is he talks about at one point in his life, he was $20 million in debt with the U.S. IRS. Now, in the U.S., with the IRS, you go to jail if you don't pay your taxes. You pay penalties and fees on an hourly basis. So $20 million can easily be $30 million in 6 months. And it just keeps growing. So he said he was $20 million in debt. But his perspective, his vision, that he was going to be a multimedia mogul. See, guys, he didn't focus on the challenge. He got motivated. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? He didn't focus on the challenge. He got motivated. The challenge motivated him. Guys, when we get in those situations, when life does us like this, and we're trying to reach our goals, we're trying to find our place in life. I love what my mentor, Paul Martinelli, says. He says we got to be unrealistic about our goals. Realistic about our goals, but we got to be unrealistic about our effort. So many of us quit. As Habib so eloquently told us today, we cannot quit. Guys, you have to be realistic in your goals, but unrealistic in your thinking, unrealistic in your effort. And when you get to that place, and I'm going to speak from my own personal experience, when you genuinely surrender, like we did when we first started, to your dreams, to your goals, to your passion, you're going to do exactly this right here. You're going to feel like God has you in a slingshot, right? Right when you think you're supposed to be going forward, you're going to feel like this. For 12 years, trying to write my book, trying to do what I'm doing, I kept feeling like I was doing like this. But my perspective, God said, Sheri, quit being frustrated by the challenges. Quit being frustrated about how far back you think you're going. I need you to be focused on how far you're going to fly when I release you. Right? See, we get caught up in, oh my God, I'm going backwards. Oh my God, that didn't work. Oh my God, I've lost money. Oh my God, the company didn't work. Oh my God, she didn't help me. And all that is God pulling you back, pulling you back. There's no way I would be 6,000 miles from home if God hadn't pulled me back in my prayer closet, pulled me back when everything didn't work, pulled me back when I was homeless, pulled me back when I couldn't pay my bills so he could shoot me over to Lagos to come and stand before you guys. Come on. Come on. Some of you are back here. You're back here. Don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated. Hold on, because God is going to shoot you out of that slingshot. If your perspective is, Lord, this day was hard, but I know you just got more tension on me because you getting ready to shoot me further than I can even imagine. Y'all with me? Y'all with me? The second key to living in your power is your ownership. Your ownership. What are you focused on? What are you focused on? What are you focused on? I love what Brene Brown says. She says you either walk inside your story and own it, or you stand outside your story and hustle for your worthiness. There's 3 words that you can never say again after ThinkAtion 2019. There are 3 words that you can never say again after ThinkAtion 2019. Because these 3 words, 9 letters, I promise you, is one of the main things holding you back. Does anybody know what these 3 words are? Anybody know? Anybody want to take a guess? I can't. That's 2. That's not 3. I cannot. That was good. That's not 9. The 3 words that you can never say again. You want to guess? I can't what? I can't feel. 3 words, 9 letters that you can never say again. What is it? New possibilities. I can't give up. I give up. Almost, but not it. I can't fail. Ooh, that's good. That's not it. I cannot quit. I can never. Y'all good. Right here, stand up. Head up. Nope, not it. I'm going to tell y'all. What is it? Never give up. Did y'all hear all of these? All of these I want you to say to yourself every day, but they're still not those 3 words. Who said it? Ooh, you. Right here. Say it again. Say it one more time. I don't know. I got something for you before we leave today. I got something for you. Yes. I don't know. Let me tell you why. All those things you said, I can't, I'll never give up, all of those are powerful. Let me tell you why this one is even more damaging than all of those. I don't know. I had a good friend of mine called me, and she said, Sheri, I'm going to call her a friend because she didn't want to pay me for this coaching call, so I'm going to call her my friend instead of my client, right? How many of you know those friends that want your business for free? Yeah. So my friend called me for 15, like, Sheri, I just want to talk to you. I need help. I need some help. And I'm like, okay, girl, what is it? And so the call went like this. She's like, girl, I got these 2 businesses. I don't know what I'm going to do. Because, I'm going to take the first business, and I need to do this, and I need to do that, and when I do this, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to build this, and then I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to move this here. 13 minutes, she kept telling me everything she was going to do. And then at the end of it, she said, but girl, I don't know what I'm going to do. Did y'all hear that? She started the call with, I don't know. She spent 13 minutes telling me what she did know, and then she packaged it with, I don't know. So all she did was convince herself that she didn't know, even though she spent 13 minutes of a 15-minute conversation telling me everything she knew. Guys, I don't know, 3 words, 9 letters robs you of everything you do know. Everything you know. You don't have to know everything. You just need to know what you know so you can do what you do, so you can get to where you want to get to. Stop saying, I don't know, because you always know. You always know. Well, Sheri, you don't know. I don't know. I didn't know then, I don't know now, and I ain't going to know when you get finished. So you telling me I don't know and I can't say I don't know? Shoot. Let me tell you why you always know. Because you always know. Now, you may not be able to, you may not like what you know. It may frighten you, what you know. You may have to move some things in your life. You may have to cut some people off. You may have to accept some things that you didn't want to accept. You may have to get honest with yourself in a way that you didn't want to deal with your own truth. You may not be ready to do what you got to do, but you always know. You always know. And every time you say, I don't know, you self-sabotage. Every time you say, I don't know, you trap everything that you do know. And then you don't move. And then you get frustrated. And then you don't tap into the power that's within you, the greatness that's within you, because you've convinced yourself of a lie. And what's the lie, sis, right here? What's your name? Baby, right here. What's your name? Rebecca. What's the lie that we keep telling ourselves? I don't know. What's the lie we keep telling ourselves? What are you no longer gonna say after ThinkAtion 2019? Guys, it's a lie, because you do know. I think my battery has died. I think that's the problem. Guys, the third key to living in your power, the third key to living in your power, what is your plan? And I don't want you to get caught up and I got to write a 30-page business plan. I need a 20-page executive summary. No. What is your one or two at the most important next steps? Guys, we get cloudy and we don't move because we have paralysis of analysis. We write out 25 things we need to do and we don't get anything done. It's too much. All of it is important. I know that. I know all of it's important. But what is most important? What's the most important next 3 steps that you have to take? What is the most important next step you have to take? Okay, well, Sheri, how do I know that? Well, that's something I want to offer you guys in a few minutes. I want to offer you the how. How do you know your next steps to take? I'm sorry with the slides, guys. My battery is weak. The fourth key is the most important one, and that's the engagement. This is the execution. This is where everybody gets stuck. This is where you actually got to do the work. This is where you got to do the work. What do I have to do? That's many times the question. How do I do it? My thing, guys, wherever I speak, whenever I coach, whenever I work with my clients, I want the transformation. Guys, your transformation, your results, that's my passion. So I want to give you a little later the opportunity on how do you stay engaged? How do you implement? And the last key is the reward. And the reward only comes from consistency. Real change only comes from consistency. Guys, everybody write this down. If you're not writing, if you're not taking notes, I want you to put this in your phone. Hold on, I'm going to put it up in a minute. If you don't have a phone, I want you to borrow your friend's phone. I want you to write this down. Change comes from being committed to consistency. I want you to send this to the friend that wanted to be here and is not here. I want you to send this message right here to the person in your family that you knew should have been here but wouldn't commit to coming. Change comes from being committed to consistency. Let me explain that just a little bit with the time that I have. Guys, when I want to lose weight, which is a constant battle for me, or if you want to get a new job, or anything you want to do, any kind of change, many times we get committed to, I'm going to exercise. We get committed to, I'm going to make phone calls to grow my business. So we're committed to the dream. I want to lose weight. That's what we're committed to. And that's good, but that's only half of the story. You have to be committed to the consistency of going to the gym or exercising or running. It's not just enough to be committed to the outcome. You have to be committed to the action. Did y'all get that? You cannot just be committed to the outcome. That's only half the story, the complete story. You have to be committed to the action. If you want to grow your business, you got to make 5 to 10 sales calls every day. Consistency. We can pray, we can fast, we can get on our knees, we can hallelujah, we can get a loan, we can have doors open for us, but if we don't stay committed to the consistency, Wale, then you have to stay committed to them phone calls. Then you have to stay committed to the consistency. And you still got to stay committed to the consistency. Guys, only half the story is being committed to the goal. So when you go through the 5 keys to living in your power, perspective, what is your vision? Ownership, what are you focused on? Wisdom, what is your plan? Engagement, how are you going to stay in the game with the implementation, the execution, and then the reward? How are you going to stay consistent? Guys, I want to help you with the how. I thank you, Bong, for trusting me with you guys, that I didn't just come here for the what. I didn't just come here to inspire you. I didn't just come here to give you hope. I came here to give you how. I want to work with you to really help you because, again, my passion is your results. My passion is you, Bong, telling me in the next 6 months how many testimonials he's gotten of all the evolution and the change that has come from this. So go to iliveinpower.com, iliveinpower.com, and you can enroll now. Rebecca, I want to give you one. I want to give you one. I want to give you one because you're already starting. I don't know no longer. Can we make sure, Javon, that we get her name? I want to give her one. Because, guys, I believe Rebecca is not the only one in this room that's committed to the how. Who drove here for 11 hours? Who drove here for 11 hours? I want to give you one as well. That's commitment. What's your name? Favon? Favor. I got you. Thank you. Javon, I want to make sure. Guys, it's the how to do it. It's the commitment to the consistency. Okay, this is my passion. I know I got to speed up. The reason that I want to give you the how is because of this. Read the screen. Guys, it's going to be harder than you think. It's going to take longer than you thought. And it's going to cost you more than you planned. Guys, you have to get a community that's going to help you after you leave here. Because I guarantee you this. I can't guarantee you results. I can't guarantee you that you're going to change because that's a two-way street. Both of us got to do our work. I'm sweating up here. I'm doing my part, okay? I cannot guarantee you that you'll walk out of here and never say, I don't know, because that's the choice you have to make. But what I can guarantee you is these 3 things right here. It's going to be harder than you think, it's going to take longer than you expected, and it's going to cost you more than you planned. That's why, guys, that's why ThinkAtion is so critical. Some of you are going to leave here, and you're going to go back home, and you're not going to have a circle of influence that's going to support you. You're not going to have a friend that's going to pour into you because they're not in this room. My mentor, John Maxwell, says sometimes you got to be in the room. They're not getting what you're getting. So let me tell you what you do with that. I want you to make sure before you leave this room today that you connect with somebody in this room or somebodies in this room so y'all can serve as accountability partners for each other. Can you do that? Can you do that? Because you got to help each other, support each other, hold each other accountable. And here's what I love. This baby right here is 11 years old. Well, that's my daughter on that side. That's my baby. Marseille, this young lady is in the TV show called Blackish. She said, when the world tells you your dream is too big, search for the folks that can see your vision. Y'all hear that? That came out of the mouth of someone who was 11 years old at the time. Some of you got visions and dreams that only you can see. My Bible says, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what I put in your spirit. Everybody's not going to see it. And you keep trying to convince your friends, your family, to see what you see, and they can't. But there's a community, and Ubong and the Ubong King Foundation has brought that community together. There's people in this room that see your vision. The Ubong King Foundation sees your vision. Sheri Riley sees your vision. And we want to help you leave this room empowered with the tools that will help you stay committed to the consistency. Guys, one of the biggest challenges that we have in owning our greatness is fear. It's fear. I want to give you this nugget. All you need is a little more courage than fear. All you need is a little more courage than fear. I love the poem that Marianne Williamson wrote and the amazing Nelson Mandela made global. Because what I've discovered is many times our fear is not failure. Because many of us have already failed, and we've already gotten back up. Many of us feel like we're going to fail. So we're not afraid of that because we think that's already our reality. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, because in so many rooms I speak in, this is true. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about you shrinking so other people won't feel insecure around you. You were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within you. And it's not just in some of us. It's in all of us. And when you let your light shine, you unconsciously give others permission to do the same. And as you are liberated from your own fears, you unconsciously liberate others. Guys, I want everybody to stand. I want everybody to stand. Wake up! I want everybody to stand. I want everybody to stand. And I want you to repeat this after me. Today, I will dive into my deepest fear to elevate to my highest faith to accomplish my greatest achievement. That was awful. That was awful. Y'all didn't say that with any conviction. You said that like this is business as usual. This is not business as usual. This is not business as usual. Okay, this time I want you to say it with some conviction. Today, I will dive into my deepest fears to elevate to my highest faith to accomplish my greatest achievements. Yes, guys, that's what we came here to do. Give yourself a hand. Give yourself a hand. Because today, I want to awaken the greatness within you. Today, I want you to walk out of here not saying, you're going to walk out of here not saying, you're going to be committed to the consistency. You're going to be committed to the, you're going to be committed to the, and you're going to be a disruptor where? In your own life. You're going to be a disruptor where? You're going to be a disruptor where? So that you can live in your power. So you can live in Thank you. Now, this is my favorite time. How much time do we have for a couple of questions? Or do I have them here? Yes. Can I go back one?
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please put hands together for Sheri? Can we appreciate her? Can we do that? Now, I know that we've not gotten anybody she wants to respond to questions. And so I'm going to call 5 people. The first, you want to ask questions, 5 now. I need 5 people to ask live questions now. Come on, now come. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please come. You can come quickly. Just come. Tell us your name, your genotype. Oh, sorry. Tell us your name. Quickly, come. Let's make it quickly. All right, quickly. Question. Not. Are you ready? Question. Please, do you mind if you sit down?
Can I stand?
Oh, you sit there.
Thank you, though.
Hello, sir. Okay, so no. I didn't call you guys, please. Did I? I didn't. I know I called you. Now, quickly, tell me your name, the question, quickly, now.
I'm Olakunle, my name, and I want to ask that how do I sustain as a writer like you?
Oh,
As a writer.
great question.
Do you mind if you take 2 questions?
No, I'm going
each?
to take this one at a time.
Oh, one at-
How do I sustain as a writer? So, I know, he's sweating.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. It took me 12 years to write this book.
Wow.
That's why when I tell you the slingshot story, but that is from my real experience. It took 7 years to get the book proposal. So, but it doesn't take everybody that long. Some people can write a book in 30 days. Some people it takes longer. How you sustain writing is twofold. One, you have to set the time to write. When is your most creative time? When is your most creative time? At midnight. Are you writing at midnight? And how much time do you set for writing?
Like an hour and a half or 2.
And how often do you write at midnight?
Not like weekly, once in a week.
Once a week?
Yeah.
Okay, and when do you want to have your book finished?
Before I'm 27.
The 27th of?
No, the first 27. How old are you now?
I'm 23.
So you want to write? You want to be finished by the 27th
4 years.
of? By the age of 27.
27, yes.
Why do you want to wait so long?
I'm a student and I really need to gather more experience before writing something great.
Got you. So here's what you're taking the journey I took. The reason it took 12 years is because I had to live this whole journey. I had to live these 9 principles. So you're living the story and the journey. So every night at midnight, or having many nights a week, you set that time aside and you just journal what it is you want to get out into the world. Don't think about writing a book. What I tell people all the time that want to write a book, the first thing you need to do is remove from your mind you writing a book and just write. Just let it come out of you. Because later, after you get it out of you, then you can edit it and take that content and turn it into a book. But we stop ourselves because we think we got to get every period in the right place, every comma in the right place. It's got to make sense. And then we self-sabotage because we're caught up in writing a book instead of just writing. So I want you to just write. Just write. And when you feel like you're done writing, then you take that content and you put it into book format. Does that help? That's how you stay consistent. Remove the idea of writing a book and just write. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, we're having a little issue now because we only made agreement for 5. We can't get all these people. But we have some special people. They are the voice for Deaf Foundation. We're trusting God that by next year we'll make more arrangement for them in the program where we can also get across to them. So he has something to say, and then she will interpret, right? Please, yes. Okay. So.
I want you to explain in life I have focus and vision in life, and I have, because deaf, they have visions and goals in life. But people that are hearing tells them, look at you, you are deaf, there is nothing you can do. And I try to, achieve my goals in life. But I want you to advise me now, what do you think I can do to achieve that in life, despite my hearing impairment?
Impairment. Great question. Great question. Don't leave. Don't leave. You interpret?
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to say is I'm going to talk to you even though she's going to interpret. Your quote-unquote disability is not going to stop you. Everybody has a disability. The only difference is yours is being deaf. Everybody has a disability. The disability of not believing in yourself is greater than being deaf. The disability of not believing in your goals is greater than the disability of not hearing. So the first thing I want you to remove is that not hearing is a disability. Because as long as you believe, which means you hear your thoughts, it doesn't matter what's being said out here. Only your thoughts can stop you. Nothing out here can stop you. So as long as you can hear you, and as long as you can hear the voice of God, you are not deaf. You're just not challenged with all this mess that we don't even want to hear for real. Right? So when you make up your mind that this is not, being deaf is not a disability, and use that to your advantage, because you see what we don't see and you feel what we don't feel, and you're not distracted by what we're distracted by in our ears, and you listen for the voice of God and the power of God and the greatness that's within you, you will never look at your disability, your deafness as a disability. Use that. Use it for your advantage to heighten the other gifts that you have, and most importantly, listen to the only voice that matters, and that's the voice that's within you. Amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. This is how to clap. Can we clap? Can we clap? This is a sign for clapping. Thank you so much. And now, sincerely, we are trying to maximize time because Ubon King is still going to be speaking. And so, what do we do? Will you, both of you, agree on all the questions you want to ask, and then come out, and then you merge, and then we have Access and Diamond come here. Okay, I called you. Okay, do you mind? Yes. Okay, I called you first. Yeah. My sister, don't shout on me.
Who was the young lady that was all the way in the back that walked up? Who got up first? Yeah, there was one, and I want to make sure, that was all the way in the back, and I believe it was you, that she was all the way in the back, and she was one of the first people to stand up.
Yes.
And I honor everyone, but I'm going to tell, no, we're going to let you do this, but I want to make sure, however many you pick, I want to make sure I answer your question. Okay. And here's the reason. Because you literally stood up before I could even ask. And you made the journey up here. Yeah. So I want to make sure I honor that. So you can pick the others, but I want to make sure I honor that.
Hope everyone understands, right? We can't take everyone, so we need 3. I asked for, so 1. Sir, you people will be the. No, but if I did not ask you to come outside, I asked you. I knew some people came out on their own. If I did not.
Okay, here's what I'll do. Please. Here's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
2, 3. No, here's what I'm going to do.
No shout.
Come over here.
She came from
Come
far.
over here.
Yeah.
Come over here.
She came from far.
Now,
you can't shout or not.
Right here, Javon.
Yeah.
When we finish the day, and I'm back at the table, I promise you, I will answer everyone's question.
You see what I'm saying?
I promise you.
You see what I'm saying?
So you just have to meet me at the table.
No, I think, but okay. Do we need?
Because my passion is their results.
Oh my God.
My passion is their results. So we got them. They'll come to the table.
So just write your name.
Here. These 3.
Yeah. So give me your result.
Because I'm going to be respectful of time.
Okay, my name is Collegiate. So I'm a very creative person, and I have a lot of...
Speak into the mic.
Okay. I'm a very creative person, so I have a lot of ideas and stuff. But when I feel like starting, there's this fear, like, these things are too much. You can't do everything. Like, so I don't know how I can really overcome that fear. And whenever I want to start, there's this fear like you can't do everything.
This is it. I need everybody listening. Everybody listening. This sister said, I have the ideas, I'm creative, but when it's time to get started, fear, thinking about it won't work. thinking about what am I going to do, thinking about how do I get it done. That's exactly what you ask, right? Here's the thing. I'm going to give you the quick answer, but I really would love for you to enroll in my Live in Your Power program. And the reason is because that's exactly why I created it. Because so many of us know what to do, and then we have paralysis of analysis. But I'm going to give you this. The first thing is, no different than what I told the gentleman who can't hear. You're listening to the thoughts within you, but the thoughts within you are negative, right? And so you're self-sabotaging. Everybody listening? Because I'm going to probably give you one of the most important things I'm going to give you today. You're self-sabotaging. Now, self-sabotage will cause you to procrastinate. So you haven't been moving, or have you? Because you procrastinate. Procrastinate, you just putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Well, the reason you're procrastinating is because you don't know your value. When you know your value, there's a fire inside of you that you gotta do it. You gotta get up and do it. You feel the fire, but let me tell you why the value is being smothered. It's because of ego. Ego. Ego is hiding behind, and you know what it's holding on to? It's holding on to pride. Let me tell you what your real issue is, sister. It's pride. And the reason it's pride, not from the standpoint of look at me, look at me, look at me. It's pride because pride says, what will they think about me if this doesn't work? What will people say about me if it fails? What will people think if I don't do this? And that's pride. That's pride. So we're going to do that in reverse. You're going to tell pride, I don't care if I fail, because failure to me is just a stepping stone in me going to my goal. I don't care what other people think, because guess what? They don't validate me. And then you're going to tell that pride to tell ego, look, ego, you're for my benefit, not for my harm. So let me tell you what you're going to do every day, ego. You're going to give me the fire to get up because I value what I have. Somebody out there needs everything you have in you to give. And I'm going to tell you what my friend told me. Stop being selfish. Stop being selfish. Because I had this, you know why I can tell you this without notes? You know why I can tell you this with all sincerity? Because you right here was me. Everything you said was me. And my friend said to me, Sheri, stop being selfish. Stop being selfish. And I was like, come on, I'm one of the most humble people you know. She said, yeah, but you're selfish. If you were a cardiologist and somebody had a heart attack in front of you, would you just look at them and go, I know I'm a doctor, but what would these people think if I get out on my knees and give them mouth-to-mouth resuscitation? What if I give them chest compressions as it don't work? No, you would do everything you could to save their life, wouldn't you? You wouldn't care what anybody thinks. And that's what I mean when I say you're being selfish. There's something that you are supposed to bring to the world, and somebody needs it, but you won't release it because of pride and ego that keeps you from valuing who you are, that makes you procrastinate, and then you self-sabotage. You got that? So where I want you to start today is I want you to say, everything in me, I promise myself to bring it out to the world. Everything in me, I promise myself to bring it out to the world. Everything in me, I promise myself to bring it out to the world. Thank you, sis.
Thank you so much. Did you know it was an old sermon she gave for you? Look at the way you're laughing. Hold yourself together.
Right.
Okay. I promise myself that you make it short. Yeah. Tell me your name.
And I'll make my answer short. I'm sorry.
Okay, my name is Folawewo, and my question is, after, excuse me, after you discover your purpose, after as a young lady you discover that this is what I want to do, where do you start from? Where did you pick up yourself? Where do you just think that, okay, I think this is the best place I think I should start from? And how long can it take if you're committed to consistency? How long can it take for you to achieve your purpose?
Great question. She said, when you know what you want to do, how do you get started? How do you do it, right? Same question. Y'all see how the same question keeps coming up in different ways?
Yes.
Yes, that's exactly why I started that program, because I get this question multiple ways every time. And I teach live every 6 weeks, every week. I teach live. Because this is what, every time I did Live in Your Power, I would get this question. Okay, Sheri, I know it, I hear it, I feel it, but how do I do it? And that's why I started that program. So for you, what I want to say, because you said, how do you get started, right? And what was the second part of that? How long does it take? So I'm going to share with you what I said at the press conference yesterday. And I said yesterday at the press conference is, and I'm going to share what I put on the screen. First of all, it's going to take longer than you think. It's going to be harder than you think. And it's going to cost you more than you think, right? Only you and God know when the manifestation will come. But if I worked in the music industry, if you ask 100 artists, if you ask Beyonce, Toni Braxton, Katy Perry, Bruno Mars, Kendrick Lamar, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, if you ask all them artists how you got started, they would tell you 100 different stories. Everybody's story is different. I can't tell you what your story is. What I can tell you is start today. What's the first thing you can do? What's the first thing? I know there's 100 things you could do. What is the first thing you could do?
Is to express myself in a more selfless way.
You can express yourself how?
In a more selfless way.
What is it that you want to achieve?
I want to reach out to people, and I want to be able to touch people's lives and change their perceptions about some certain things. Because I did psychology in school, and I want to implement it in my country, because it is not as rampant as it's supposed to be, like the way it is in the outside world.
Hold on. What did I hear over there?
Yeah.
So the first thing you have to do is narrow it down to the first 2 steps. Because what you just shared with me is that target on the wall. Remember I told you? Remember I said, everybody, we're clear on the target on the wall? You don't see the steps to get there, right? What is the first step? I want you to, what is the first step? What timeline are you going to put with that first step? What outcome do you want for that first step? That's why I say we got to narrow it down to those first 3 steps, and then you start with the next 3 steps, okay? You got it? And I hope you join that course, because you're primed and ready. And that's exactly what I want to do, is walk you through how you take those steps. I have live videos, and I have a workbook, and I teach live to really help you go through those steps. Okay? Okay? What's your first step? That's what you need to focus on. What is your first step, and accomplish that first step, and then keep moving. Yes. There we go.
Thank you so
Last
much. Can we
question.
appreciate her? Thank you. Can we appreciate her? We like to know that you can get a copy of the book, Exponential Living, for $25, but that's which is 9,000 outside. And also, if you want the T-shirt, Peace is the New Success, $15. That's 5,500. Yeah, for just when you get there, just pick one and pay. That's it. Yes,
Last question, and
Last
then we are
question.
going to open up the floor for the master of the ceremony, Mr. King. Yes.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you for organizing this. Thank you so much. You can't hear me?
I'll repeat it. Say your name.
My
and I'll
name is Yvette. I work with Daily Cake Nigeria. We make the best cakes in the world.
Yes.
I had to say thank you for this opportunity, because my coming here is a miracle.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Here's the thing. And this is big for me. Everybody in here is important. Everybody in here is important. And I want you to respect what it takes to come up here, put your heart on the line, put a microphone in your hand, and to let the world hear the deepest parts of what you're dealing with. Okay? Okay? Okay. I'm going to repeat the question. So if you can't hear her, I'll repeat the question for her.
Okay. I said, my name is Yvette Obayuwana. When you were speaking, I just felt I begged God to give me an opportunity to ask a question. I'm very shy. But when the opportunity came up,
Yes!
I jumped up.
See what I'm saying? Come on, baby. You got this. You got this. You guys don't understand the courage it took. This is her first step. This is her first step. Didn't we come here to think different, do different, be different? That's what we came here for. That's what we came here for. Yes. Yes.
Let me just cut it short. The second, thank you. Oh, yes. The second question you answered, that is me. But the biggest trauma now is I am multi-talented, gifted. I started life very early, at the age of 16, and people look up to me. I went to a private school. I paid people's school fees. But oh yes, thank you. In the process of it all, okay, I may just say it all. Let me just bear it. I don't know when next I'll have this opportunity. And, okay, I have a lot going on. I've been able to speak to some people and they say they don't know how you survive. 100 women go through this, 99 will be insane. My son, I have a son who was taken from me. Till now, no connection. We talk on Instagram and they threaten him. If you ever speak with her, we won't train you in school. He graduated in May 2nd, and now he's back in Nigeria. He promised me he will call me. They didn't allow him to speak with me. Everybody asked me to do a D&C, abort him. I picked up my life. Let me get married. God gave me an awesome husband. I'm supposed to be in a meeting today. My husband is a pastor. And I'm supposed to be, yes, that's my husband. I'm supposed to be in a meeting today with my husband. But I told him, the only thing, I've never asked you for anything, I want us to attend ThinkAtion. He's a pastor. I did not follow him to church on 31st night. I don't go to church anymore. I am at home crying from morning till night. Why is my life like this? I do things. I bake cakes. I've been baking for over 30 years. Everybody says your cakes are awesome. I don't have money in my account. I talk to people, they get solution. And I say, Lord, why am I still where am I? What is my solution? Now I've started a lot of things. I start writing, I start baking, I start talking. I just got an award for empowering women for doing it in just 3 months. But I don't have any, I can't just pull myself anymore. I want to sleep. That's all I want to sleep. I just want to lie down and sleep and say, Lord, I have reached out to all the people you said I should reach out to. If they are not reaching out to me and I hear people say, God spoke to me and said, Lord, speak to me. Somebody came all the way from Canada that she was directed to me to learn how to bake. Immediately I spoke with her on the phone. The Spirit of God told me not to charge her. I don't have 1 naira. Are you hearing me?
I am.
Not to charge her. Yep. She had agreed to pay the amount. And immediately she entered, I was so lazy to go to the office. And I told her, come to the house. And when she came, she now said, okay, this is it, this is it. And I said, I don't know who you are. I don't know what it is, but the Spirit of God said I should not charge you. And she said, but he said, I should pay you so amount for the next 12 months. And immediately she left. I'm like, God, so you are using me to solve problems. Why am I not? My question now is, okay, what do? I just want to sleep. I don't want to try anymore.
So
I don't want to try anymore.
I have this for you. And And the thing, I call these my exponential conversations. And I got to be very transparent. I'm a woman of faith. I don't put my faith on others, but I only speak that which the Lord speaks through me. And there's two things that the Lord kept saying is, I needed to tell you this. I want you to remember it, and you will. Your husband is going to help you. Lillian's going to help you, because I want you to look in my eyes. For 20 years, I literally had all of this boiling in me. Everything you see in this book. When I first closed, I went through 3 transitions. I told you about LaFace Records that I left. Then I left and I started a business I had for 17 years. I closed that business. When I closed that business, it's because God told me it was my biggest distraction. And then he took me on a journey that literally took everything from me. My family was homeless. We lost our home. We lost our car. My family went through financial zero. And when God took all of that from me, not that long ago, he said, now start. And the very first year that I coached and I trained, I did it for people who didn't pay me, who were making hundreds of thousands of dollars, who didn't know I was homeless. When I launched my business, me and my baby were living in my girlfriend's spare bedroom. My husband and my oldest daughter was living with his parents. That's when I started exponential living. See, God needs to get you out of the way so that he can use the empty vessel that he needs you to be. See, I'm here because he emptied all of me. So when I stand up here, I don't have anything but the word of God in me that he brought out of me, called exponential living, and he gave me a passion for people to get from where they are to where they're supposed to be. I don't have an agenda. I don't have anything that I'm planning. All I want is to people to feel the peace and the clarity and the courage that God gave me when he emptied me out, and he did it for people through me, but he wouldn't do it for me. And I hear your heart. God blessed. So hear this. God blessed hundreds and hundreds of people through me and would not give it to me. And I believe right now is so I could stand here in Lagos, Nigeria, and share my story with you. Because it wasn't about me. It was about you. It was about you holding on. Remember that slingshot? You feel like he's pulling you back, so he can release you. Now, that's what God says. Now he said give you the practical. Sister, you just tired. You tired. And you're serving from an empty cup. You're serving from an empty cup. So here's what I want you to do. Everybody, see my hand? This is a saucer, and there's a cup sitting on top of that saucer. And the cup is empty. And you're trying to serve your community and your family from an empty cup. But my Bible says, my favorite book says, that he gives from the overflow. See, let God fill your cup, and then let everybody be blessed from the overflow. Sister, you're serving from your fumes, and I want you to serve from your overflow. You're just tired. You're not defeated. You haven't lost. God isn't done with you. You are not in any way the one that's not going to receive. You are just tired. And I want you to fill your cup. What I want you to do when you leave here is fill your cup so that you can serve from your overflow. You can no longer serve from your fumes. You with me? You with me? God ain't done with you. And God has not forgotten you. He needed you to come here so I could tell you, just fill your cup. Sister, you just tired. You just tired. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. You bomb.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please put hands together for Sheri Riley? Thank you so much. Were you blessed? Oh, yes, I'm telling you.
Hotter than a fantasy, lonely like a highway. She's living in a
Ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing up the convener himself now to present some set of awards. How many of you want to listen to Bon King? Are you sure? You're not tired? Are you not had enough? Ladies and gentlemen, can we please put hands together for our keynote speaker all the way from the United States of America.
A round of applause for Sheri Riley, before I scatter the name.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. We really do appreciate you. Nigeria knew that you came. Thank you. We're very honored. You can get any of our materials outside. And now, before I buy the convener, I'd like to specially recognize